You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast. What's up, guys?
What's up, bro?
How we doing?
Good, mate. You ready to rip?
Don't Don't let the frustrations brought on by technology fool you. I'm fucking relaxed as fuck.
Good living up there, mate.
It's the best living. It's actually like shockingly good living. Other than the fact that you can't swim in the ocean for fear of getting eaten by crocs, and like irukandji and shit. It's some good living. Also, they've got the whatever that bird is. What's the bird? Not the lyrebird.
The lorikeets.
The Australian bird, cassowary.
Oh yeah, cassowaries.
Dude, cassowaries, just a little side note on them. Fucking only bird with 3 scalps to its name. 3 known killings. Now, do your own research. I'm parroting that from friend of the show, Charlie Bly. But deadliest bird in the world. I was like, fucking chalk that up to Australia. Another one. Another psychotic animal. But a bird, like, it's got like some horn on its head. It can get up to like 30 k's an hour and it just puts its head down and fucking charges at you and stab you. Stab you good, shiv ya.
Is it the only bird in the world with known killings?
I don't know. I was shocked by the fact, if that is the truth, if it's the only one with like, you know, proper, respectable chalkboard numbers. Like, I'm sure an eagle's fucking peck someone's eyes out or something.
Yeah, I think eagles have taken like babies as well and stuff. But I feel like from what it seems like, cassowaries.
Yeah, but like, you can't. Babies, no disrespect to babies. I've got a couple of them myself. They're not much fucking chop in the harsh battleground of nature.
Mate, there's plenty of weak animals out there that get the W over a baby. You got to talk fully grown adult male or female, but adult when you're talking kills from wildlife. In my opinion, I've always been of that belief. I also like hand-to-hand combat as being the measure. You know, like emus will run next to cars, run into them. Some bloke flips the car, kills everyone involved. I'm not chalking that up as a W. I'm talking hand-to-hand stuff.
Yeah, no, it's got to be mono, unarmed combat. It's a good point you make, though. Surely an emu's fucking got a couple of scalps. I'd be shocked if an emu with those big old claws doesn't, like, you know, just rip someone's gizzards out.
Well, I don't know how likely they are to turn and throw, as they say in the old. I would expect an emu to fucking get the skates on, you know?
Yeah, so would I, but like I feel like you could piss an emu off. An emu looks like someone who would be a little curmudgeonly, like would get upset at you pretty quickly. They'd have a short fuse to punch on. That would be my, again, face value, book by its cover sort of perception of an emu.
Yeah, I mean that could, and that's probably where you've gone slightly wrong in that. In my experience of emus, and I've had some level of experience, given they used to roam the Dubbo Zoo free range like a chicken in the open, and they just molest bins and fucking and take to people's picnics. But I don't ever remember people throwing hands with emus. I could be wrong. But I feel like that's something I certainly would have remembered is watching a man throw down with an emu at the zoo. They keep to themselves.
Well, again, like, and you raise another very important question, which is, you know, how docile is an emu that is already a little bit acclimatized to human interaction, right? Like, if it's got a bin at its disposal, it'd be a mad, crazy emu to forego a fucking layup of a meal over in that bin to come and start trying to punch on with me and my family. But if I'm like, if I bump into an emu in a dark alley out in the bush,
yeah,
does the emu, he or she, are they more inclined to turn on you? I don't know, but the cassowary is the only one apparently, unless Dave's found something in the interim. Cassowary, 3 recognised kills.
The 3 number, I don't know if I can confirm that. Definitely at least 1. But yeah, in terms of like hand-to-hand combat, adults, unprovoked attacks, cassowary, out-and-out leaders.
So what I'm hearing is,
Oh, fuck
what I'm
yeah.
hearing
That's
is,
cool.
don't startle a cassowary at the fucking watering hole. That's what I'm hearing. Stay clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Steer clear of the cassowary. But that's all just a roundabout way of saying that despite the inherent dangers of Port Douglas, of FNQ more generally, this place is phenomenal. I feel like I'm living in Jurassic Park. It's not overdeveloped. No high-rise buildings. It's all old and marshlands and shit like that. The temperature in winter is... mwah. It's fucking perfect. I may have got a tan. I don't know. But I'm a huge FNQ fan.
Show me your arms. I'll make a judgment on that.
Well, no, because that's not
really.
fair.
Sorry, buddy.
Tell you the way you really do it. No. The way you'd have to do it is if I start showing you my pubes a little bit and you get to see like the pant line.
Yeah, I know, but you can get a pretty good call on an arm. I've always thought, particularly the back of an arm. I think you can get a really good read there. And I'm not sitting here impugning your work.
We should leave it up to the power of the internet. It seems like you might be. That's okay.
How was the wedding?
I mean, the wedding was phenomenal. Shout out to Jez and Tam. It was on a wharf in Port Douglas. And it was a beautiful day. It was beautiful temperature, as I mentioned. Eddie, did I tell you, my fucking, my hot suit? My hot wedding suit. Yeah, you remember it, right? I went, I got it taken in. It was a big hullabaloo. I got some shoes for it, found a shirt. I was ready to rip.
I remember.
Daddy left it at home.
Yeah. I didn't see it in photos, and I raised a cursory eyebrow at that. No. I thought, has he parked it? Did he fall out of love with the suit?
No, Daddy forgot it.
Oh dear.
No. Dad forgot the suit.
So what'd you have to wear?
How'd you
did you have to think on your feet?
I was at the I just had shit in me bag.
You took a backup?
No, I didn't take a backup. I just had fucking some pants and a shirt, like a t-shirt. Listen, ultimately, it wasn't the end of the world because FNQ weddings, I think, are a little bit different. Like, you can basically rock up in whatever the fuck you want, and some people did. Some people wore whatever they want. To be honest, after forgetting the suit, I was like, fuck, it'd almost be funny if I just rocked up in board shorts and just like really took the piss. But when I got there, mate, I wasn't close to the most casually dressed. So FNQ did me well. If this was a different wedding, if this was yours in Hobart, if this was some other sort of, less tropical wedding, I would have been fucked. But I dropped the girls off at the airport, nipped back to the studio to drop the car. And as I was getting back to the studio, I was like, I've left my fucking suit in the cupboard at home, haven't I? Shit. And then I was going to make a mad dash, but the lady was like, you will miss your fucking flight.
Yeah, you don't want a mad dash under those circumstances, mate. And like you say, far north Queensland, the place to forget a suit. Was anyone there in the double pluggers and the board shorts and the Singo?
No one went that rogue. That's basically all anyone wears up here generally, but no one went that rogue for the wedding. Gorgeous wedding, beautiful speeches. Friend of the show, Hamish Street, was the celebrant and fucking delivered. Absolutely terrific. Real long sort of poetic ramblings about love and about fucking. At one point he said, "Would a chair need to sit down in a chair?" or something like that.
He's good, mate. He's very good. He's always he's always had a little bit of Shakespeare in him as well. He's always it's like a duck to the water street to love. Good. He's always wrote Carly quite long, eloquent letters on their anniversaries.
Yes.
He obviously,
and this is sort of what it was. It was just really, and it was good.
Sorry, I spoke over you there, mate. The joys of broadcasting over the interweb. I was going to say, obviously, he's got an eye for flowers as well. If anyone's seen Flowers by Haim, they know that he's got He's got a bit of an eye for those things. An eye for the sappy.
Well, for anyone who's seen flowers by Haim for the last 2.5 years, you probably haven't seen many flowers by Haim on there.
You got to go back a bit further.
But you will know that you got to go back a little bit to when Haim was also moonlighting as a florist. And by that, I mean he was just stealing flowers from people's gardens and arranging them for his wife.
He actually did Ella's 30th, or my 30th, I think. So was it my 30th?
That's
he
right,
did someone's. He did someone's birthday. I think it was Ella's,
Yeah.
and he did a remarkable job. Shout out to him. They were all stolen from people's yards, though. Front and back, if memory
They were all
serves.
nicked. They were hot. They were hot flowers.
Yeah, they were hot.
Those things were hot.
But you save a fortune because flowers are expensive.
You do. The funny thing about stealing, you don't spend much money.
It was he probably wrangled $500 or $600 worth of flowers, I reckon, just off the eye test.
Yeah, it was, and did like different sort of styles. You know, it wasn't just like a mishmash of shit. He was good at it. Listen, obviously it was a little bit, legally questionable. I don't know what the laws are about picking flowers from people's gardens. It seems kind of play on, but not necessarily at scale like he was doing.
Listen, I don't think anyone would begrudge someone for picking a couple out of the front yard, but when you wake up and you've had your whole flower bed stripped, then maybe you fucking get on the blower to the cops. I don't know. I don't have a front yard, Tom, such as Sydney living, but, you know.
No. But still, your backyard, if Streety could find a way in there, he could pillage those flowers on that wall.
I know. Well, that's why I keep the gate locked and bolted, Tom. Because I know what he's like.
Tonker at the ready.
Yeah, Tonga at the ready to fucking rip shreds. That's the way to do it.
Anyway, mate, I mean, like, there's obviously more to get to with Port Douglas horizontal living, but I mean, you also got to experience, the home of Tommy Burns, the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, I did, mate.
Noosa specifically.
Statues and posters of you everywhere. A little bit, almost a bit fucking of a wig out, right? To drive into the Sunshine Coast and see statues.
Yeah, I know.
Made everywhere. People in tears at the prospect.
Well, especially because I've never lived there in my entire life, but they've adopted me as their king.
No, you're getting a lot of raps up there, buddy. A lot of raps. Sunshine Coast, a beautiful part of the world. Noosa specifically, where I did most of my work, Tom. I did dip a toe into Yamundi as well, briefly. Another quaint spot. Good living. 3 days of sun.
Is that for the markets, mate?
When I say sun, Tom, I mean sun. I mean the sort of sun that when you look at your phone app and all you're looking at is sun. There's no fucking cloud. There's no other icons, because I'm not interested in other icons, quite frankly. I'm only interested in that true blue Australian sun. That's the only icon I'm into. We were getting 21s, 22s, 23s, dare I say 24s, Tom. I'd make an argument, a strong one, 27 in the sun. I don't care for the shade. I wasn't in it. 27 in the sun. Deck chairs out, towel out. I bought a book. I got 3 books priced at the price of 1 book because it was a closing down sale. So I felt like I had a fucking great win at the bookstore. I'll probably never read the other 2. Not important. A deal was done. A deal was done, Tom.
A deal was done. What was... Hold on. I need to hear a little bit more about this deal, Edward. You can't just gloss over the fucking... Don't bury the lead here. Kid's got one of the great deals of all time on books.
Listen.
What books did you get?
Listen, I don't want to brush over a deal done, but went into the bookstore. I remarked immediately that the store seemed a little unfilled. I thought, Jesus Christ, they've not presented this store very well. And this is no disrespect to the store owners, but I was a little taken back by the lack of effort made to dress the store up to appropriate 2023 standards, Tom.
Did it at all remind you of an apartment of a former associate of ours? Just had nothing in it.
Listen, I'm not going to go as far as to say that it reminded me exactly of the apartment of a former associate of ours, since removed. However, now that you raised the point, there were certain similarities. He had rooms empty.
Yeah.
There were sections of this bookstore empty. And so I'm sort of like I'm rummaging through books, looking to see if anything takes the eye. You got to look. You got to search a little bit harder when everything's been pillaged, as it were. But I found a couple of gems.
Yes.
There was a Robert Harris book, Conclave. Tom Robert Harris wrote such fictional works as Fatherland, which was a good book. Munich. Another good book. He takes non-fictional worlds, real world sort of environments, Tom, and splices it with fictional work. So Robert Harris, Conclave, under the belt. Wow. I get to the desk. She says, "Listen, you actually can get another 2 books for free." To which I became a little giddy. All right, at the thought of paying $14 for 3 books. I think most people would get a little giddy.
Yep.
That's about $4.70 ish, something like that. Don't know the math right off the top of the dome.
You're not close. You're not far. $4.66 ish.
$4.66. I mean, fucking giddy up, son. So I went and got a couple other books.
Less than the price of a coffee these days.
Less than a price. Well, mate, you show me a place that's doing $4.66 coffees, and I say, bloke, fucking laundering money.
Punters and Dribblers, we are brought to you as always by our good friends at Ned's.
We're brought to you by Ned's. We're brought to you by Ned's.
If you're going to have a bet.
Hey, we're brought to you by Ned's.
Now, that's obviously, you've heard this one way later in the podcast. Obviously, we're referencing back to when we were singing at the start of the show. But we are brought to you by Ned's. And also, if you're hearing this in just a previous podcast, this has got
no context.
Although technically it will, because the bloke one will have been playing as well.
Correct.
Dynamic insertion, shout out to it. We are brought to you by Ned's, the #1 betting platform in town. Big supporters of us here at Hello Sport. Look, I don't want to let you in on any secrets as to how About Even went. About Even, if you're not aware, Punters and Dribblers, is our betting show, the #1 betting show in town. I don't think anyone got a single bet.
No one did. But some people went worse than others.
Yes.
People that triple staked a lot of things went poorly.
Oh, did Daddy do that?
Sebo's triple staked 2 things.
Did he?
Yeah.
Sucked in. Ned's. If you go to the Ned's app and there is a group tab there, you're going to be able to join our private Ned's group. Obviously, Ned's has all the mod cons and all the things that you'd want to be doing from a betting perspective. But there's an About Even group in there where Eddie, myself, Sebo, Rando, Tobler are in there, and a shitload of other dribblers. And we can all share bets, copy bets at our secret passcode for that, Ed.
Dribbler. No S.
That's
Dribbler.
Dribbler.
See you in there.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Sun was good. Food was good. Living was good. I think I got a tan. I can't be sure. I got sun kissed. I know that for sure. Didn't drink a sun kissed.
I definitely got kissed, dude. I definitely got kissed.
Yeah, but I can't tell with you
I've had
because
the
sometimes
sun
it looks like
giving me
your
little butterfly
psoriasis.
kisses. Yeah, but look at my skin right now, dude. I mean, I know it's hard for you to tell, but it's pretty fucking... It's looking pretty good.
You got sun kissed here.
It's looking pretty good.
Sun kissed there.
Well,
buddy.
I'm always sun kissed there. In fact, I'm like fucking... You got sun hickeys on that band of my face, unfortunately. I've realised that at this stage of my life, officially, I'm a resort guy. I am fucking full resort guy. Give me a fucking pool that never ends. Give me room service. Give me restaurants. There's just nothing you need. Give me buffet breakfasts.
As opposed to what?
Give me robes. As opposed to getting like an Airbnb.
Nah, dude.
Like,
sorry.
fuck Airbnbs, dude.
Sorry. I'm over Airbnbs, bro. I'm over them.
They're done.
They're done for me. Like, I understand that. Like, they started off with good intentions, really quaint. Open my home, come in, experience how I live. We can, instead of swapping, you can just have it and pay me a nominal fee. Sure, cool, whatever. But There's no room service. They don't make your fucking bed. And if you're going on a beach holiday, right, you got sand through that bitch in the first 24 hours. That's the sandiest fucking shithole of all time. You need it cleaned daily. I need fresh towels, bruh. I'm sorry. I don't want to have to go and fucking do laundry on holidays. I need a new towel every day. I'm sorry, environment.
No.
I do. That's what I require.
Yeah, no, the environment can kick rocks as far as my need for fresh towels goes at a resort. I fuck the environment as it pertains to my need for fresh towels. I make no apologies for that. You know what else I want to do? I want to get room service, and then once I'm done with all the plates, just pop them out the door. Just going to leave them there. Someone will clean up. They go magically disappear. I don't know what happens. I've never seen them collected. You just put them there, you come back out, they're gone.
You put them out the front, job
Buffet
done.
breakfast, Edward? I don't know if you're... Look, you and I are getting cut to shit, six-pack city, next 6 weeks specifically. But if there's a buffet breakfast going on, I abandon all potential diet responsibilities. It's like, sorry, I'm not meant to eat before midday. You can go and jam it because there's 6 different types of eggs. I've got some of the best, crispiest bacon I've ever seen and just like a huge tray of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beans. It's all the shit you usually get, but it's in buffet style. There's just something freeing about it.
There's something really freeing about a buffet breakfast, Tom. I completely agree. You go a little bit overboard as well. I find myself having courses, which I would never usually do for breakfast. Usually I'll sit down and just have a breakfast on its own terms. But here at the buffet, I'm starting out light. I'm starting out with a yogurt, maybe a little Bircher muesli, which I never eat. But I'm at the fucking buffet, so the world's my oyster. Then I'm going to that little man who's making the omelettes for me because I'm a big omelette guy and I love omelettes. And I'm putting in all manner of fucking thing. And now I've got a beautiful omelette. I've got beautiful bread. I've got fucking mushrooms. I've got beans. I've got bacon. I've got all kinds of shit. A bit of Worcestershire on top of there, Tom. Then I'm having dessert.
12 different juices.
Because any fucking buffet worth its salt better have little chalky muffins laying around for the big guy. I'll load up a plate of chalky muffins.
This one had a Nutella fountain. Eddie. I don't want to get you fucking alarmed, but it did. Now, I just went for 2 full servings of basically big breakfast. And this is, you're seeing me right now, I'm like an anaconda trying to digest an antelope. I went hard. Was that the best decision before a podcast? One would argue maybe you don't eat so that you aren't a lethargic fucking, digesting python. But this is what I am now. I'm trying to pass a large amount of bacon and eggs, and my body's working overtime, and it's obviously, directing all its energy to that. But I don't give a shit. I tell you what, I haven't fucking thought about a goddamn thing all weekend. Like, just, when it's like holidays, you want to check out, and usually with kids of late, those holidays have sucked a bag of shit. I have just been so relaxed. I didn't know what was going on. I forgot the footy was on. I forgot everything was on. Manly did their best to sort of fuck me up. Like, first half, we're 30-0. I'm like, okay, good. This is what my holiday needed. Just an absolute unexpected humping of the Sharks. Now, Manly let the Sharks back in to the point where we almost gave up the biggest comeback in the history of the NRL. We didn't do that. But that was the only time I think that my heart rate had been raised since Thursday. The flying with children was bad. I thought I was in for another bad holiday, actually, Eddie. Flying over here was a fucking nightmare. But basically, from the moment we landed, things are good.
Flying is a nightmare. It just is. You'd think that improvements may have been made to flying. I haven't noticed any uptick in comfort whatsoever in my entire life of flying. I could be wrong, but I certainly haven't noticed.
Do you know what the improvement is? The improvement is, it's just about where is the improvement coming from, right? It's not improvement for the consumer. It's like them optimizing how many fucking millimeters can we take from everyone slowly before you are sitting jammed the fuck into your seat. And we flew with a Virgin, and it was like, oh no, this plane's got smaller since the last time I was on a flight. I haven't grown. Like, I'm not taller. I was like, they're taking the piss here.
Well, listen, for you and I, mate, 6 foot and above, yeah, that's right. We need the exit rows. Like, There should be a disclaimer, I think, that they put on it whereby if you're just in a regular seat, you need to be a fucking gymnast to get in there. You got to have your legs behind your head. Legitimately. Yeah. It's absurd in the extreme. When I flew in you got to be able
to suck your own dick.
You got to be able to suck your own penis, and I cannot. Now, that might be a length thing. It might be a flexibility thing. It may be a combination of both. They flew us around for half an hour.
Of course.
Tom,
I think it's a combination of both.
Half an hour.
Were you in the exit row?
Fucking oath.
Yeah, see, with children, you aren't allowed an exit row because they are not going to help in fucking an emergency. They aren't going to do shit. But, except like get in your way. Now, I felt bad because we had people sitting in front of us, right? I feel like this is just, though, when you get on a flight, you know that there's a chance that you're going to be stuck with some fucking annoying kids around you. Like, that just is what it is. And now I'm obviously speaking from the other side. I have now died and gone to the other side. And as a parent with kids who are, if your kid's like, I reckon, 5 and over, you can like whip them into shape. Like you could probably scare them into doing what you want. But 3 and 1, you are just constantly battling those motherfuckers. Evie's slightly better, but Zoe, just a fucking psycho, nonstop. So, unfortunately, the people in front of us, you know, they had some annoying kids behind them, basically. But they weren't like shaking their chair and shit, but every once in a while they'd bump into them. But, you know, like, what can you do? Steph and I spent 3 hours on this fucking flight trying to stop that from happening. But they just kept turning around and looking at us and scowling, and like Steph was getting pissed off. And I was trying to not show it because I thought that at least one of us should be calm. Because like ultimately I wanted to go, what the fuck are you looking at? What the fuck are you looking at? Yeah, I'm sorry that my kids, because initially you are apologetic. You're like, oh, sorry, I get it. But then when they just start like giving you greasies, I'm like, do you fucking think that I want my kid to be doing this? Do you think I want to be on this flight with this fucking 1-year-old? And you and your fucking weird dad, who could be your boyfriend in some weird messed up sort of age gap relationship. Do you think we want to do it? She's your kid. You've had a kid. You know what it's like. Fuck you. Stop looking at us. You're not helping the situation, you stupid prick. Now, I didn't say any of this, but I wanted to, but I didn't. And Steph was getting close to it. She's got that fiery Croatian blood. She was probably ready to rip someone's fucking head off. Anyway, it's a roundabout way of me apologizing to those people, but also not apologizing because like fucking cut me some slack.
Mate, fuck them. Don't apologize for your poor parenting. Just leave it.
Hey, no, it wasn't poor parenting. It was... You know what? You should be feeling sorry for me, not for the kids. They get to run amok for fucking 3 hours on a plane. That's probably the only thing that like, I'm like, you know, ready to come home. Sweet, it's been a nice little holiday. I'd honestly prefer to drive a car than fly with them again.
That's one of the great drives all time, buddy.
I know.
That's just.
But there's a part of me that's like,
it
would be easier.
That's not drivable. Not with kids. That's 3 days on the road, mate. Long days too.
What about if you got a camper van? Like if you got one of those Winnebago camper van things, that's a little easier because then they can just do whatever they want.
Well,
you don't need seatbelts in a camper van, do you? You can just fucking run around.
I think technically you do, mate. I think by the letter of the law you do. I think like any other vehicle, you need a seatbelt, generally speaking. I could be wrong. The Winnebago may make its own rules and live and die by its own sword. I'm not 100% sure. I understand what you're saying. You'd need a fucking Winnebago, bro. If you're putting the kids into your car, driving for 3 days straight to get up there, fuck that. You just cop the 3 hours and get on with it. That's my opinion. I don't have kids though, so it's never been an
you're
issue.
Probably right, Eddie, and you don't have them. It's a different story, but you are probably right.
No, I'm almost certainly right, as usual.
That's not fair, but it is probably true as well. You're probably right about being right. Now, back to the resort thing though. I think, and I think maybe Sebo and I were having this discussion at some point as well, but like, because Sebo's up here, Chica is also here, staying at the same resort, had dinner with Sebo last night. But is there a world, Eddie, where, you know, like we start our own sort of like getaway show? Because getaway is like just on free to air. Who watches free to air TV anymore, respectfully, most of the time, unless it's live sport. But like, you know, just us basically going around reviewing resorts, play on their golf courses. Hopefully they have a casino. We try out their buffets. We try out their room service. We time them.
I think that's a great idea.
You know, how soft are the robes?
Listen, I couldn't think of anyone more qualified than you and I to take on such a tremendous undertaking. But more than that, it's almost like, could I go as far as saying what Wikipedia has done for access to human information, us reviewing resorts on behalf of the punter and the dribbler, you could argue even more important. The punter and the dribbler needs to know what's out there for them before they book their next holiday. Is the golf course any fucking good? What's the buffet like? Is there a robe that you can play into a slipper? Are the slippers missing? Is that a problem for you? Is that an issue for you? Is there a casino?
What are the amenities like? Do you know what the amenities? Can I just drop some amenities? Walking around this place, there are random water taps, just randomly, everywhere, that have fucking sparkling, mineral, normal, chilled.
Sparkling. See, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, dude, sparkling,
That's a nice
sparkling
touch.
taps.
See, that's a nice touch.
It's a nice touch, dude. You tell you what, you don't get that at an Airbnb. You don't.
No, you don't, mate. You got to wash your own fucking towels at Airbnb. We've been over it.
Yeah, you got to clean the whole fucking house after paying through the nose.
No, I think it's a great idea, Tom. It's a great idea. Obviously, run a quick eye over the gym, and I don't think it requires anything more than that.
You got it, of course.
You know. No, I like that,
Get
Tom. I like that idea a lot. Let's look into that. Let's try and get that off the ground before someone steals it.
Yeah, well, someone's probably in the process of stealing it right now. Play Papa Roach, Last Resort as the intro song.
Probably sounds like a great time to transition, if we can, punters and dribblers, into the fact that job done. Job done. Earn retained. Fuck off, England.
Yeah. Listen, bit of rain about. Can't help it. Not my fault.
This would be my opinion, Tom, if you don't mind. Are you telling me, bruh, that in an English Ashes series, in an English summer, are you telling me that you thought we'd lose no days to rain? Is that what you thought? You thought we'd lose no days to rain? Because if that's what you thought, you're a fucking idiot. Because there's always days lost to rain in England.
Yep.
Sessions and days, baby. Sessions and days. Now, what did Australia do? We won the dry days, baby. We won the days when cricket was there to be fucking won. Now, I don't give a fuck if they have found a bit of form and they're playing well at the moment. Well, you should have started better. You should have started better. Oh, you're getting Bazball. Nah, bruh. Your Bazball failed to deliver results in the first two tests. It's as simple as that. Where the fuck was Bazball when you declared, gave us a sniff in the first test, then we come over the top of you with 2 wickets to spare? Where was your Bazball then? It wasn't anywhere. You were fucking whinging and complaining. Job done there. Tick. Thanks very much. Then we bowl you out in the next test. Thanks very much. Another job done. Another fucking tick. It's not my fault that there was a couple of days rain when you were playing well. Why is that my problem?
Yeah, in the couple of days when you guys just absolutely listen, you got to ride your luck in this life. When you guys got hot, and that Crawley kid, he got hot, and we got cold. The only time really that anyone's been super hot and super cold, super polar, in the series, because it's all been pretty ebb and flow back and forth. Unfortunately, you weak English cucks only decided to do it when there was rain about. And now there's fucking rain, drawn test. Look, I'm not going to say job done. It's certainly passable. If I was the boss, I'm not coming back in and going, hey, you didn't finish the job. You've retained. Now we go into the Oval, wherever the fuck it is, and we go to win. We come to win, we go to win. I don't understand, and again, I've been so switched off from the world that it actually kind of worked out there was no cricket on because I couldn't be fucked to stay up late and watch it. But the hyperbole and the flip-floppiness of the English media, where when we were fucking winning the first 2 tests, it was like, Bazball sucks. What are these guys doing? This is a disgrace. This is no Ashes meant to be played. Then I saw an article, probably after Crawley's big dog fucking runs, or their first innings, they put on almost 600. And it was like, is this the greatest English side of all time? I'm like, you're fucking 2-1 down. The greatest English side of all time? Like, what the fuck are we even talking about? Let's just relax first. But also, you just look dumb being so all over the shop.
There isn't
the
there
other
isn't
thing
a
I saw,
shorter
Edward,
memory than an English memory.
Oh, no, dude. They are goldfish. But then there's now yarns that, like, Pat Cummins, oh, he might fucking step down from the captaincy after this series. I'm trying to work out whether that's legit, whether that's like insight, whether that's what he actually wants to do, or whether that's what people are just talking about because we had some uninspiring fielding placings and tactics. But I'm like, the cunt's 2-1 up in the Ashes. How the fuck? And he just won the World Test Championship. Like, his head's on the chopping block. He single-handedly won us the first test when he dug in.
I think that sounds like a load of shit, unless, Tom, it's coming from the man himself and he's finding the job of captaining the nation whilst also bowling a taxing one. But from a results perspective, Test fucking championship into the earn, retain. Now, there was 2 jobs to do. Job 1, retain. Job 2, win the series. So there's still one more job left to do. But that's fucking ludicrous in the extreme. Yeah, it's been a tough, you know, particularly this test has been tough for him. But if you go along Glenn McGrath's train of thought, then they were just playing they were playing the conditions, baby, and all they wanted to do was go out there and defend their lead, get home to the fucking retention, and off you go. So I don't know why anyone would say that. But the English memory is so short, it's staggering in the extreme. Johnny Bairstow bowled out because he was leaving his crease early. Stiff shit on your bike, stay in your crease, you fucking loser. Like, they forgot that they used to, on many occasions they've done the same thing. They conveniently forget that. That's goldfish behaviour example 1. Goldfish example behaviour 2. Behaviour example 2, rather. You know what I'm saying, punters and dribblers. Is when 2013...
No, I got it,
In
dude.
2013, Tom, when they'd already won the Ashes because they won in Australia in 10-11. We don't remember that. We don't really talk about that series, obviously. But it did happen. They retained because of they were up 2-0, but they retained because of rain in the 3rd test. And all the old tweets from back then, from Piers Morgan, that fucking loser, to Stuart Broad, to all these other fucking cucks, going, thank God for the rain, do the rain dance. Like, they don't... When the shoe's on the other foot, they couldn't give a shit about rain. And now that we win, like... And they're trying to make it out...
They might be the most hypocritical race of people on earth.
They're trying to make out like where... They're going, oh, look at these fucking Australians reveling in the chance to retain the Ashes in rain. It's almost as if we'd chosen to do so. Like, Pat Cummins didn't seem that pumped up, at least from my opinion, in the post-match press conference. He wasn't jumping through the fucking walls, was he? In celebration at the fact that they retained
No, he's still
rain.
because he knows there's a job to do.
But so stop
No,
making
he knows
out,
there's a job to do.
Stop making out.
Job 1, retain.
Stop making out like it was an Australian decision to win during rain. Like, although it may seem like we have the ability to manipulate the fucking weather gods, we don't. We don't.
Yeah, of course it looks like that. Of course that. Listen, I understand that that's maybe how it appears, that we have found a way to manipulate weather, cloud seeding. I don't want to get into it, but look into it. I'm not saying that we cloud seeded. The weather is what the weather is, and English weather is fucking awful. So listen, it's a retention. You retain and you move on, and then you go and win, or you go and draw, and then in so doing you win. So, fuck, baby, I don't mind if it rains for the whole fifth test. Obviously, I prefer it didn't.
Well, listen.
But if that's the way we win the urn, then fuck the English.
I don't really give a fuck because we've already got our 2 wins. Obviously, I want to win the series. I'm not shying away from that fact. But let's also talk about the fact, if you want to talk a little luck, we've lost 4 fucking tosses in a row. The greatest off-spinner to ever off-spin has been MIA, which has affected the stability and the belief of the side, Tom. I don't think that's been too hyperbolic. The belief of the side has faltered without him around. Do you see us kicking rocks and complaining and fucking whinging about the fact we haven't won a toss and the greatest off-spinner to ever off-spin isn't playing? No, because we just get on with the job, okay? Heads down, bum up sort of stuff. When you are so vocal in declaring that you should have won the fucking series and you would have done if not for rain, that is pathetic and beta as it fucking comes. Like, stop making out you're the greatest side of all time. You lost the first 2 fucking tests, mate. Is that the greatest side of all time? Would lose the first 2 tests and not retain the urn? Like, what are you talking about, mate? I tell you what fucking elite, high-octane, throbbing sides do. They pound you into the earth fucking 5-0. Why didn't we beat you 5-0 last time you were Australia? Yeah, rain. Do we fucking go on and on about it? No, we don't. We go, that's annoying. We move on with our lives.
Also, just going back a little bit further, England have only won 3 of the last 20 Ashes tests.
So give it a rest.
They're shit, dude. They're shit. I don't know what we do in terms of when's the next one? How long?
Thursday night it starts.
Horny stuff. Well, that's exciting.
It's very exciting. But I just wanted to say, well done, Australia.
I don't know if we bring Toddley back in.
Well done, Australia.
Yeah, well done, Australia.
Well done, Australia.
And like, never in doubt.
Never in doubt.
England, look, I'm not going to pretend like they didn't look good. They didn't. They looked good in that first innings. Now, unfortunately, that came in the 4th test. That they started to play really well. Will they now try and are they back? Are they now in form, or is it like, do that 2 games in a row, bro? We're coming for you.
Listen, they've looked good this test. I will admit that. I'm prepared to put my hand up and admit they've looked good in the last test. But I don't give a fuck because it got rained out and the history books will show it's a draw. If you were to just move your finger up the history books, all you'll see is a draw. You're not going to remember. Next generation's not going to remember. They're not going to give a fuck. They're going to see it as a draw and they're going to see it as earn retained. Now, there is the little matter, though, Tom, of job not done. Because if you were to go through the own history books of Australia, the history books would show quite clearly that you've got top 3 batsmen in the history of Australian cricket in the side. You've got Marnus, who's a fucking weapon. You've got David Warner, one of the greatest, most prolific openers we've ever had. You've got the quartet of bowlers that have been together since, the early days, Tom, who are just so fucking elite and so hot and so horny. We've got a really nice rugby league cricket side, and it would be an almighty shame if we were not to get a win in England. It'd be a real fucking travesty, I think.
It seems set up for us right now. It's like it's our best shot that we've had in 20 years. It's as close as it's gotten. We just need to sack up here.
You could argue that we were pretty close.
Sack up. It's time for sack.
We were pretty close in 2019, if not for Stokes' in elite innings and the fact that at the Oval we were asleep at the wheel.
Well, it's not a bad point. Eddie. That you would actually argue that we were closer there. We were a literal fucking review away or a run out. But again, I'm not one for history. Everything means the most right now because it's right now.
There is no future. There is no past. There is only now.
There is only now. There is only the present. But fuck, we'll see how we go, eh?
See how we go. Well done, boys. Well done.
Yeah, well done. We need some fucking tons though. You know what I mean? Like let's go on with a couple. Let's fucking get set and go on with it.
Yeah.
No more 50s. I'm fucking sick of 50s.
Not interested in 50s. Not interested
I
whatsoever.
need tons. I need brave fucking Australian rugby league tons.
There's a reason that Shane Watson was maligned by the public, and it's the fact that he was allergic to tons for the nation. So if one of these fuckers goes out there and gets a start again and doesn't go on with the big job, I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to be fucking furious.
Bloody Marnus is starting to get a bit of a reputation. And he was all right this last test, but
He did get 100.
no tons outside of Australia. Huh?
He got 100.
Did he get 100? That's so funny. I completely missed that.
And it's his second.
Did he get a ton?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
his second overseas ton. I
He
think
got one. He
against
got
Sri
one.
Lanka.
He got one yesterday, mate. You are relaxed.
That's so good. I am checked out.
Yeah, they
I was like, fuck.
they bowled 30
no cunts
overs.
are getting fucking
They
tons.
bowled
That's
30
so
overs
good.
yesterday, and he got a ton.
That is so good. I'm just going to look. I mean, again. How many did he get? Did he get out or was he not?
118
111.
or 111.
And then he really loosened up after the 100 and played some questionable shots and then got out.
I actually love that I didn't know that.
Kids checked. Kids checked.
Dude, I'm fully checked out. That's good. I might need to fucking prove to Steph that I've been this checked out. 111 of 173. Swamp Junior, 31. I love that Bairstow got out of 99. Why the fuck do I know that? I don't know that Marnus got a
Bairstow didn't get
He
out.
didn't get out.
51 and
Yeah.
100.
He was 99. He was 99 not.
No, sorry, not out. 99 not. You know what I mean? He didn't get his time. What loser let him down?
Well, all of the tail end, really. It's James Anderson.
It would have been James.
Well, yeah, but there's
Yeah.
like one last one.
Would have been Jimmy.
Oh, was it Jimmy?
Would have been Jimmy. Jimmy can't bat.
Debo.
Jimmy, I think I heard today, only taken maybe 4 wickets this whole Ashes series.
Jimmy hasn't been going that well, mate.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy's showing his age.
No.
Jimmy's showing his age.
Jimmy's showing his age. I can't believe I didn't know Marnus got 100. That's fucking hilarious. Bit of rugby league around the traps, everyone. You know? Bit of rugby league, mate.
There's a little bit of rugby league running
You get to
around,
watch
Tom.
much rugby league over the weekend?
There's a little bit of rugby league running around.
Do you watch much of the rugby league over the
I
weekend?
watched a little bit of rugby league. I certainly watched Manly fucking hump the shit out of the Sharks until we weren't, but we basically did.
Yeah.
Listen, it was foot off the pedal stuff. What happened was, punters and dribblers, is the DCE tore you a new asshole. That's what happened. It was 30-0, which, I mean, it was pack it up stuff. What happened, Tom, realistically, if I'm running an eye over what happened, Jake Trebojevic went off the field with an HIA or to get looked at, and we fell apart. We absolutely fell apart. Mount Paseka was off the field. Josh Aloye? Fuck. Sorry, bro.
Aloye.
He was off the field too. And we fell in a big, fat, stinking heap. Now, thank the fucking heavens we held on because I was not in the mood to witness the greatest comeback in the NRL. That would have hurt. The licks would have been deep and honest and true. But it wasn't to be. Manly hold on for a famous victory. Famous because we almost fucked it. Famous because the Sharks were at home and everyone thought they were going to win the fucking premiership this year. But they're proving to everyone that they're a very good chance of falling outside the 8. In fact, I'd argue they will, Tom.
We might leapfrog them.
I think there's room for Manly now in the 8. I think there's plenty of room.
You're absolutely
for Manly.
right. Well, listen, we had a brief look at the draw the last week, and it was like we've got some fucking winnable games coming home. I think it's the Dragons next week. Shout out to the Mad Dragon. You're ready to get fucking humped.
DCA's 300th.
But yeah, mate, having all those boys off the field, DCA's 300th, all those boys off the field injured, we were just running out of puff. Like it actually, some people are like, oh, fucking, you know, Manly going to shit. It's like, no, dude, we had Mount Paseka, Jakey Turbo, and Aloye off the fucking field. 3 big thickies. Of course we're going to bloody slow down. I tell you what, Ed, didn't mind Matt Lodge in the maroon and white. I'm not going to lie. I didn't mind the signing, and I didn't mind him. He looked good. I thought he looked good. He's fucking humongous, and we needed a big thickie.
We did need a big thickie. We were short thickies. You and I have been going on and on and on about how short in the thickie department we've been. Matt Lodge did a job. Like to see it. I don't know what the injury to Mount Paseka looks
good.
like, but we could probably do with another thickie if he's going to be down and out.
Well, listen, I think we could. There's no shortage of thickies. We could go another thickie. That's for damn sure. We could definitely go another thickie. What did Mount Paseka do? Do we know?
It was like he got his leg in a weird position when in the tackle.
I think it was his knee.
I think it was his knee, yeah.
I just don't want it to be a fucking Cindy or something where he's out for...
Cindy Mose. I don't know if it was a Cindy Mose or not, mate. Not sure.
Yes.
It's a suspected grade 3 MCL.
Josh
for
Allier
Paseka.
looked like a...
Grade 3 MCL.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
That reeks of a
That's not
season.
good. All right, well, that's like 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, 6 to 8, 6 to 8, 6 to 8. Maybe higher, maybe longer. I can't remember. I know I've done...
Well, yeah, it's
couple of leagues
TBC at this
myself
point,
over
but
the
they're waiting
time,
on
but-
scans.
Yeah. There we go. Done some leagues in my time.
Manly only 1
Think
point
they were more
outside the
grade
8, Tom.
twos, though, so I can't entirely remember. Yeah, exactly, mate. We're in, and we got the Dragons next week. Like, there's a couple. Dave, your fucking loser Storm are looking like falling out of the top 4 after getting done by the Knights. You guys are fucking in serious trouble.
You don't know how much I was cheering on the Sharks to make that comeback just because I knew it would have nullified us getting pounded by the Knights. But it is, it's a tale of two teams. That Storm are, commiserating a loss that, gets us down from 3rd to 4th, and Manly are celebrating a victory that boosts you up to 11th place. So congrats to you.
Well, no, it's not about congrats. I was just more wanting to hear some thoughts from you about how you lost to the Newcastle Knights after Christian Welsh, who's a friend of the show. I don't want it to be misunderstood here, but Christian, one of the great servings of humble pie after his little press conference yarn with Bellamy, where it's like, how the fuck did the Knights lose to the Panthers? They've got no one. And then that same Newcastle Knights side comes and fucking humps you losers. Like, how's that feel?
Yeah, look, clubs that are less united than us at the Melbourne Storm would have shifted blame for those 2 losses onto our great and powerful captain, Christian Welch. But we have to accept that responsibility as a team, including the fans. That's on us as well. But still a few weeks out from the finals. We got Paps to come back. Remus Smith being out for the season is not good. But, I'm still confident we'll stay in the top 4. If we can turn our form around, Premiership's not unlikely, so I'm not worried.
No, you're definitely not winning the comp this year. I tell you who was looking, just back to us, Eddie, just back to a bit more Manly stuff, because Dave, you definitely blame Christian Welsh. I love Christian Welsh, but it's 100% his fault for that loss to the Knights, and I think that we should all acknowledge it. Stubby Cooler Can of Coal looked nice. He's just looking nice. Did you see that ball? Actually, Daly Cherry Evans is comfortably the best halfback in the competition right now. Probably Daly, Adam Reynolds, Cleary, IMO. Just right now, if you're doing the live ladder, you know what I mean? Daly, that ball he threw for Cooler's second, maybe? It was just like this slow, meandering cutout pass over Olakawatu. Like the chip kick to Croker, he gets the ball, the guy jams in on him, he just stops, gets around him, then throws this like 600-meter cutout ball straight to Jason Saab, who flicks it back around. Phil Gould didn't have KO, unfortunately, on holidays. Phil Gould was touching himself. Bad Daly Cherry Evans. I could hear him fapping in the commentary box.
Well, because he knows quality when he sees it, Tom, and Phil inclined, as he's always been, to touch himself when he eyeballs quality. It's as simple as that. Yeah, you've got to wonder whether Fitzgibbon knows what the fuck he's doing. No offense, but that's one leaky ship at the Sharks, mate. Like Talakai, see you later. Moylan, see you later. They're still leaking. 4 of our 6 tries came down that side, even though they tried to plug the hole. All at sea. 30 points? Yeah, you scored some late, but we had injuries and we stopped caring. It was essentially 30-0. Let's call it as it legitimately was. It was 30-0. Humped 30-0 at home. This close to finals. Obviously, finals is still a couple of fucking weeks away, maybe more than a couple, but we're close enough. We're outside of the origin period, which basically means it's finals footy. And the Sharks going like a busted ass. Missed the finals almost certainly.
And you know what else? It tells me, Eddie? All of this talk has been about the fact that Sharks can't beat top 8 sides. I guess we're a top 8 side then.
Proof's in the pudding, mate. Like, obviously, technically, we're not in the top 8 right now.
We were in the top 8.
Technically, we're not, but we sort of are, right? We basically are.
No, we're a top 8 side.
We are a top 8 side. We're a top 8 side. Manly's a top 8 side.
Sharks are flat track bullies.
I tell you who's not a top 4 side? Storm. Storm aren't a top 4 side.
No,
that we do know. Losing to the Knights? Yuck.
You can't lose to Newcastle. Yuck.
Yuck.
Can't.
Yuck.
Can't lose to Newcastle and be a top 4 side. That's disgusting. What is the ladder right now?
The ladder, so Penrith Broncos in first. Actually, I'll bring this across here so Eddie can see. Then we got Warriors in third. It was actually good that you guys beat the Sharks because it means we stayed in the top 4. Yeah, so Storm, Raiders in fifth, Sharks, Cowboys, Eels, then Bunnies, Knights ahead of Manly. And then you got the bottom.
Fuck, it's funny the Bunnies are out of the top 8.
Yeah, mate.
That's hectic. And the Cows are 7th. What a turnaround from the Cows. Like, I know that, but, like, what a turnaround.
Mate, massive turnaround. The Cows going all right. You got to give them credit where credit's due. The Bunnies outside the top 8.
Mate, they're a win outside the top 4.
Mate, the Bunnies outside the top 8 is shocking in the extreme.
Because they feel like they've had a good season, by and large. You know what I mean? Where it's like the Eels and the Cowboys sucked fucking huge dicks at the start of the season.
I tell you what I'm sick of. What I would be fucking... Like, obviously, I was ropeable at this during Origin, but if you're a Bunnies fan and also a New South Wales fan, seeing Latrell named every week only to be fucking removed on Friday is just one of the great fucking blue ballings all time.
Yeah. Didn't they do that? And again, I don't want to do another Marnus here, but did they do that with Viliami as well for the Dogs?
Yeah.
I know
he was meant to come back this week and then they scratched him.
But yeah, they fucking... Sam Kerr, same thing with the Matildas. Shout out to the Tillies, but Sam Kerr, blue ball in the nation, having a fucking calf injury. But yeah, if I was a South fan, every single week, Latrell's coming back, not to come back. I mean, it happened in New South Wales. It happened for Origin.
That's what I'm saying.
He was coming back for game 2. He almost made game 1, and then he's been out for like 12 weeks.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Literally named to play game 1, then nah. Named to play game 2, nah. Game 3, they actually left him out. And then every fucking week, he's basically coming back for the Rabbitohs and never does. Game 1 of Origin was a long time ago.
Yes, it was. Anyway, come back soon, Troll. No, it's not your fault, but he was looking fit as well. I saw a photo of him. I was like, oh, this kid's coming to play.
Anyway.
But Daly Cherry Evans the best halfback in the competition.
Easily. Jam that up, yeah.
Got Phil Gould fully erect. I don't know how often he gets erect these days. That's just it's probably a personal, private matter for him. But I know one thing's for sure. That man had a raging boner Sunday, 4 p.m, Shark Park. Daly Cherry Evans.
He doesn't need Pilot when Cherry Evans and players like that.
No. Listen, and Pilot, obviously, the online men's health toolkit, right? Like, code dribbles will get you your first doctor's consult for free. Sorry, code You're the Bird. Get your first doctor's consult for free. But they'd be looking over their shoulder at Daly Cherry Evans. And I believe they also sponsor the Sharks, Pilot. But they'd be looking over the back going, mate, if this guy keeps playing the way he's playing, we're not going to need to solve any more boner problems.
No.
This kid will do it all himself.
Well, it'll ruin their business, mate. Ruin the business model. Because all you need to do is put on Cherry Evans highlights and you're fucking good to go.
Certainly for us.
Shout out to Cherry Evans. So 300 games this weekend. No small feat. One club man. Obviously just adores the club. Won a premiership for the club. Bled for the club. Won for the club. Lost for the club. Done a job for the club. Shout out to Skip. We wish him all the best.
Yep. Look, he shouted us out for 500 episodes. It's only right that we shout him out for 300 games. Obviously, it's not 500 games, like if you were to equate episodes to games, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Listen, it's cute, you know what I mean? 300 goes all right. It's not 500, but 300 goes all right, you know? It goes okay. Goes pretty well. It's not 500, obviously,
Goes okay.
but it goes okay.
Yeah.
Goes okay.
It goes okay. And I'm proud of him.
And I'm proud of you, buddy. And I'm proud of us.
Yeah, thank you. Proud of us. The Tillies, though. Back to the Tillies quickly. Shout out to the Tillies getting the job done. When's their next game? Got a little bit nerve-wracking there for the Tillies. Don't know I if you were paying attention. I landed into Port Douglas, got into the hotel, and I watched some Tillies. But I thought we were Sam Kerr out, but we were still meant to sort of fuck with the Irish, and then it was a little bit close at the end.
No, well, at least we won 1-0, mate. Sam Kerr out, resting the hemi or the calf or something like that. It was...
I think it's a calf.
You could probably argue that it was a little bit close for comfort, but that's all right. Great fucking crowds, bro. Great crowds. I saw a call was obviously sold out when the Tillies played. Obviously, the nation loves the Tillies. But even Jamaica and France last night at the SFS was sold out. 40,000. Getting fucking red hot numbers. Red hot numbers.
It's good stuff. That's good stuff. When do we play next day?
Thursday night against Nigeria at Suncorp.
Okay.
Another great night.
Suncorp. Fuck yeah.
Bit of Ashes cricket into
Fuck yeah, Tillies.
the Tillies.
Yeah.
We love that. That's good stuff. Good for the soul.
That is good stuff. Well, Eddie, look, I don't know if you've got anything else. Is there anything else that you feel that you need to share? Is there anything else we've missed? There's probably things we've missed. Bradman Best on the open market. I mean, I think we called that fucking 3 weeks ago.
Call it months ago, mate, moons ago. Listen, nothing for me, Tom. I think we've done fucking well given the circumstances, given the slight delay, given the fact that you're trying to digest not one but 2 Aussie breakfasts.
There's a couple more just little things. This just came through now. Friend of the show, Liam Knight, signing for the Dogs, effective immediately.
Interesting.
There was the...
No way. Effective immediately.
Yeah. Could play for Dogs as soon as this weekend.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
Danny Weidler reporting that. I don't know.
We
if
were just on their podcast last week, Punters and Dribblers. They were in the studio. Liam and Toby Rudolph have a podcast, Stuck in the Middle, I believe, that will be on soon. But Liam kept that quiet, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Again, he'd never met us before, so that's not shocking.
Yeah, we're surprised by that, Tom. I'm not.
Look a little bit now.
I didn't realise he was back from injury.
Hectic.
There you go.
There was some good results in the swimming overnight. Did you guys
I don't
see
know
that?
what I know.
Did we win 3 gold medals?
I think so.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Talk to me. Talk dirty to me.
Dude, they broke the fucking 4x100 relay record.
Yeah, there were some records that tumbled. Let me get up exactly what it was.
We broke the world record? Oh, fucking oath. God, our golden girls are good, dude. Our golden girls are so good.
Can I ask a question? And this might be me being like a bit of a tall poppy dick. Not even tall poppy, maybe I'm just being like unfair. But like that guy who coaches Ariane Titmus sort of making all of her record breaking moments about him a little bit.
Dean Boxall. We've got
when he's like shaking and fucking.
Show me.
Yeah, Dean Boxall when Ariane just won the world record.
Oh,
like I get it, but
yeah, I know what you mean. I think he's pumped, obviously, but Boxall likes he likes the fucking bright lights, mate. Boxall likes the bright lights. Simple as that.
And I can respect that, right? Like, I understand getting excited. They beat the world record by like 3 seconds or something.
That's a long time.
But
so, Dave, did Titmus beat
but I think.
Yeah, Titmus won the 400.
Titmus decimated her competition.
Yep, she won the 400 meter freestyle.
Ariane Titmus. Sorry, Dave. I'm just going to read it out here, bros. decimated a competition to set a new world record and take the gold medal in the women's 400 meter freestyle as Australia dominated the opening night of the World Swimming Champs in Japan. Titmus torched arch rivals Katie Ledecky and Summer McIntosh, who was the reigning world record holder, to touch the wall at 3:55.38 in what many rated one of the greatest swims ever seen by an Australian.
Really?
I mean, it'd have to be, right, if it's a fucking world record.
Oh, we
It's
love
literally
that.
the greatest.
Ariane Titmus is no fucking joke. Is she the Tasmanian? I think she's from Tassie. Sunny Tassie.
Is she a Tassie gal?
What a champion. We love that. Fucking oath. Who else won gold? So we won Titmus, 4x100, and what?
The men, Sam Short won the same men's event just before that, so 400 meter freestyle. Sam Short winning that, and then we won both men's and women's relays.
We won the 4x100 meter
sorry, so I'm
relay for
actually a little
men.
confused here, Dave.
Did we won the women's?
I don't think we won the men's. Titmus
No,
won?
yeah, the men's relay quartet: Jack Cartwright, Flynn Southam, Kai Taylor, and Kyle Chalmers won gold.
Really?
Yep.
So we won 4 golds last night.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4.
Yeah, I think so. Could I just ask a question here? Did Ariane break the world record for the 400 meters, or did she break it in a relay?
No, she won it for the 400 meters.
No, but did she break the world record in the 400
Oh
meters?
shit,
Yeah,
girl.
she broke the world record in the 400 meters.
So did we break 2 world records last night?
I'm not sure if we broke the world record in the relay.
Right, okay. Jeez, we
Okay, I must have. Maybe I got that wrong.
How good
No. We did break the world record
That's
in the
why
relay
it's the
as
greatest
well.
individual.
Oh, so
swim.
2 world records, 4 gold last
Yeah.
night. Fuck, we are red hot.
The women's relays, which we broke the world
Records
record
tumbling.
for, was
Yep.
previously held by us as well in
Of course
Tokyo.
it was. Of course it was. Because the Australian swim
Yeah, that
team
makes sense.
is the pride of the nation. We know this. We dominate. The greatest swimming nation
We
of all
do.
time.
Can I leave you with something before I go off and sun myself at my resort pool that has sort of a sand bank that I can sort of meander down like a crocodile entering the water. I went to a crocodile park yesterday and got to see some of these big meaty bastards up front. They are like in their habitat, like in the water and shit, like so like we're in like going through like a lagoon basically where there are all these crocs and like they're swimming up to the boat and there's some massive ones to come up and they eat the food off the stick and everything. Them in their habitat is fucking terrifying. Like I've got a whole new appreciation. They are this one, I'll send you the video. And the video doesn't even do it justice. This thing was fucking humongous, like 4 meters. And I think 4 meters, I'm like, that's not that big. But then you see it and you see the thickness of it and the size of its head. You hear the sound of it snapping down on food and shit. And you're like, these things are dinosaurs still roaming this beautiful earth of ours. Humongous dinosaurs that just like everyone sort of nips around. It's like, oh, don't go in there. There might be crocs. It's like, I was laying in water like this ankle deep at the beach. I went to the beach yesterday and I'm like, I'm not going out any further than I need to. I don't get eaten by a fucking croc. So I'm like laying in the shores and just like rolling from my front to my back in ankle deep water. And Steph goes, how much do you reckon the P's and D's would pay to see that footage? I was like, don't you fucking film me at all, you stupid bastard. You keep a camera out of my face. But bruh, those crocs, seeing them swim through the water, like, coming up, their ability to like control their depth, like because they're just not there, and then you just see them rise up, and then you can just see a croc's like shadow, like just on the bank. Then they come all the way up. They're like depth skills, whatever the hell you call that.
Depth control, man.
Phenomenal. But anyway, if you ever come up here, depth control, Hartley's Croc Park. Shout out to Crocs, and it actually. I'm shocked that the North Queensland Cowboys aren't called the Crocs. Like, I don't know how the fuck the Crocs skipped through to the keeper. Like,
I'm pretty sure the local footy team in
that's what
Port
this place
Douglas
is
is the
about.
Port Douglas Crocs. If you head down to the
there's an
Oval,
AFL team might be called the Crocs. Yeah. Obviously, and with full respect to the Port Douglas Crocs, I think that the North Queensland side might have, been able to steal that one. But North Queensland Crocs are just like the Crocs, dude.
Yeah, that's an opportunity missed. Big time. Stiff shit. Shout out to Crocs.
Anyway, that's me. Yeah. No, but our talk with Willie Mason, 8 p.m, SEN, tomorrow night. We are back with Big Willie Mason. So enjoy that one. SEN, 8 p.m. And then it'll be on the SEN app after that. And also you can check out our potty with Busby Maru, the blues and roots. Would you describe their genre, Dave?
I'd say they're
Rockhampton
bluesy.
boys. But they had a good yarn with them last week.
They're bluesy. They're a bit of rock and roll. They've got,
folky,
nice supple
bluesy.
tunes. Yeah.
Bit of rock and roll.
Bit of everything. Good stuff, though.
I don't know what any music genre is other than like hip hop or just rock or pop maybe. But all those ones that are a bit more like you got to know your shit to know the genre. But they were great. They were funny guys. So go check that out.
Good stuff. Great stuff. Shout out to us. Shout out to the punter. Shout out to the dribbler. Shout out to Willie Mason. Shout out to SEN. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Tobler. Shout out to me. Shout out to you.
Shout out to me.
See you later.
Could you two just not talk anymore?